In a world where elevator music is always playing in your head, and it's not only legal but actually encouraged to enter people's houses, take their possessions and sleep in their beds, it is hardly surprising that the national sport is superpowered dogfighting. Welcome to the world of Pokemon! You will fight your way through harsh forests, hike rugged mountain ranges and reach the peak of snow-capped mountains, until you are stopped in your tracks by a small bush. There is no education system to speak of, but it seems like every job has something to do with Pokemon. So to learn about the only industry they'll be able to work in, children are expelled from their homes on their 10th birthday and forced to travel the region alone. You play as a child whose father is mysteriously absent in a town with about 5 residents. Before you leave, you'll be given a superpowered creature by Professor Oak, who can't remember his grandson's name, so he's probably suffering from very serious dementia. Luckily, I remember his name. Time to take part in this coming of age ritual and leave home forever. Thankfully, there is no crime and all the roaming kids are not in any danger whatsoever. They do nice, safe things like collect berries, ride bikes, and get very close to incredibly powerful mythical beings. To find Pokemon, you just need to wander into knee-high grass and you will be attacked by a 7-foot-tall monster. Luckily, you'll have your own monster that you can force to fight against it. When the Pokemon is weakened, you can enslave it and keep it in a ball 1/10 its size. Humans care very deeply for Pokemon, which is why they are taken from their natural habitat, stored in cyberspace, traded away to a stranger and forced to fight each other. They are incredibly powerful creatures with amazingly diverse and adaptable skills. However, you need to teach fish to swim, birds to fly, and this thing how to cut down bushes. The savage dog fights, or Pokemon battles as they are locally called, include 2 people pitting their pets against each other until one of them is physically unable to continue. In order to gain the genetically strongest Pokemon, you'll need to breed dozens of children from the same Pokemon until one meets your expectations. And all the other baby Pokemon? Well, they are either left in suspended animation their entire lives, or released into the wilderness and forced to survive on their own. Although the Pokemon at least enjoy the breeding, and there's one that gets more action than any other. Despite it being a savage blood sport between innocent animals, Pokemon battling is quite like every other sport, except steroid use is encouraged and so is taking money off the 10-year-olds whose pets you beat into submission. You'll find Pokemon trainers on every route in the region. If they spot you, they'll immediately approach you and challenge you to a fight. So if the wild animals in the long grass weren't dangerous enough, you'll also be assaulted by everyone you see. But this is a peaceful world. Honestly. Just be thankful you weren't one of the 10-year-olds that grew up in one of the later cities and was surrounded by high-leveled wild Pokemon that made you ever leaving your hometown impossible. The most ruthless trainers are able to open up their own betting halls of death, or gyms, and call themselves gym leaders. Gym leaders are some of the most powerful trainers in the region. Yes, even if one of them uses level 12 Pokemon. Every time you defeat a gym leader, you'll receive a badge. The more badges you have, the more merciless and bloodthirsty you are in the eyes of your fellow trainers. As you travel around the region collecting gym badges and new slaves, you'll do the regular childhood things like single-handedly take down the Mafia and meeting legendary one-of-a-kind Pokemon, and enslaving them and forcing them to fight for you, of course. Eventually, you'll fight your way up to the Elite Four and become the strongest Pokemon trainer in the world. With Pokemon so powerful, you'll be feared by all the innocent animals you come across. Well, feared even more than you usually would be, I suppose. In such a varied world, there's a wide cast of characters, including the earthly manifestation of the devil, the earthly manifestation of God, the one everyone called a penis, Adolf Hitler, the tensest game saves ever, a gas ghost that puts you to sleep and then feasts on your dreams, and a baby that wears the skull of its deceased mother. Buy this game for your children. Pokemon! It's in the top percentage of all games.
I wanna be the very best, like no one ever was. To catch them is my real test, to train them is my cause.